what you consume in your body, and you need to be more conscious in knowing what you
Mm.
read, what you eat, what you look at on your social media, things like that. You need to be mindful and conscious about nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. I like to look at that actually in two kind of frames of mind, which is the small scale, so the individual, as like what you said, what we consume in terms of tangible things such as food, water, energy, and then intangible things such as digital content, digital media in general. How about we start off with the tangible things, we'll say.
Yeah.
What's your favorite tangible thing to consume, Alex?
What's my
It
food?
used to be Sprite. Let's be real there.
Yeah, that is a fair statement to make. Um what is something I like to consume? I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I guess
Oh,
sweets. Um
candy's so addictive.
Unfortunately, my metabolism is really good, so I don't know the word limit or restraints when it comes to eating those things. So, but don't worry, my body will catch up and I will get my comeuppance in 20 years from now. So until then, I will enjoy the ride. No, Pete can tell you, Pete can attest to this. I have been treating my diet more, I don't think carefully, more respectfully. I'm treating my body a little bit better. So, you know,
Your body in the future will thank you.
That's true.
yeah.
I'm very much Zen. Body is a temple person. People talk to me about that all the time. They're like, "Why are you so my body is a temple all the time?" And I just say, "I don't know. I don't want to be 55 years old and thinking, why can't I get out of bed because I just feel like shit. I don't want to be that person.
It's
I
true.
want to get out of bed when I'm 55 and run a marathon because I have so much energy,
Yeah.
instead of
Um,
having arthritis in my back or something. I don't know if that's possible, but you know what I mean.
I feel like the things you do today should be like presents for you tomorrow, you know? Like how you like get things for other people. What how you treat yourself and like your responsibilities today will be a present for you the next day. It's because like
Mm.
for example, if you like have a homework assignment or just a work assignment and it's due in the future, wouldn't it be great if you had it finished like today instead of the day it's due? Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, no,
I feel like
but like in all seriousness, it's like if you have like things to do, like for example, P, you love going grocery shopping. It's like, don't you want to get that done as soon as possible, not when you're like completely out of food and just like starving and dying?
yeah, that I think people should plan ahead and be not like on autopilot and actually know what they want in the future and how that will impact them and what's the action to take and like today.
I do love going grocery shopping, by the way.
Yeah, we
I
would.
love food. I'm obsessed with cooking lately.
Yeah, we used to went like every weekend.
We
Like
did.
going.
Me and Jess would always have stuff to do on Saturdays, and then after those meetings, we would basically go grocery shopping for a couple hours, I think, at least. One time we
Couple
even
hours. It takes me like an
well,
hour at most on a busy day.
It's because Pete, it's really he doesn't know what he wants, so he just walking in this
Ah,
grocery store like just walking
no.
I
around.
get it.
It's not that I don't know what I want, it's that I always need too many things and I don't know where anything is.
Okay, yeah.
Also, get this, one time we even took or she has a bike. I have an electric scooter because I am that person. Um, and we took a little adventure into 4.5 miles outside of the city of Boston to find like a little Greek shop with certain foods and delicacies of my heritage. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, like we would do stuff like that. That's exactly why I'm so good at time management.
I mean, 4 miles isn't that bad.
It took a long time, and the worst part about it was that on the way back, my scooter's battery died, so I had to kick a scooter that weighs 40 pounds.
Yikes. Couldn't
You can say that I did not skip leg day that day.
Couldn't you
Yeah, that was a
just
leg
have? Yeah, I have no idea how you'd handle that situation.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
That's why you should have a bike, Pete. It's better exercise for you. Well, I mean, carrying a 40-pound scooter like a couple miles also is pretty good exercise, to be fair. But
well, the thing is, I didn't carry it. I had to kick it.
Oh,
so it was
yeah,
even harder.
that too. Good,
Yeah,
good
sucked.
one.
But,
I feel bad. I'm
but-
sorry, Pete. But at least you're stronger for it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
True that.
But yeah, like recently I haven't been going to grocery shopping that often because I was being on fasting for a long time.
Yeah, so tell us about that actually, because I'm interested to hear about it more.
Alex, have you done like any type of like fasting or?
Dopamine fasting or just any fasting?
And I know you guys did both. I wanted to ask you guys what was the reasons of you like being on the dopamine fasting, because I was more talking about like food.
I have a funny story that I'm not going to really tell, but basically I fasted for like 10 days, and let's just say my body did not appreciate that at all. So that's my story of fasting.
Wait, without giving the details you don't want to give, did you not eat food for 10 days?
I had like a banana on the occasion and water.
Jeez, man.
That's I would say
such a
that
clown.
that would like you kind of like broke the like if you were just drinking water, it would be more on like the water fast and stuff. But eating a banana, like, well, you're still able to survive, but your body's not gonna be happy.
Yeah,
with that.
no, I learned that my body did not appreciate that, and I suggest no one do that ever. With that being said, there's something interesting about Pete. Have you ever? You're not a wrestler, or a fighter, but have you ever fasted, like food wise?
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger and still sort of adhering to Christian religion and stuff, we would do technically, if you were super religious, you would fast the 40 days before Easter. But in my family, we weren't always very, very religious, so we would try to do the week before Easter. I think just Holy Week is what it's called. Yeah, dude, that's so bad that I don't even remember it. It's part of my culture. But anyways, we would fast Holy Week. And even that type of fasting wasn't even that bad. It was just no meat, no fish, or I don't even remember, to be honest. But it was a limited diet, stuff like you can only eat basically vegetables or something, and
I think it's like every
no
Friday
dairy.
fish.
I think it's nothing. No, that's Catholics.
Oh yeah,
Because my mother is Catholic, and so that's I know that she would always eat fish every Friday. But I think it was actually stuff that does not come from a living thing. You're not allowed to eat. So
Plants are
dairy. I know. So that's actually impossible. Then how do you eat anything?
Eat rocks, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to say this. So in that 10-day period where I basically tortured myself, I wanted to ask, like, when you fast, do you get like just cravings, like nonstop cravings? Like you can't think of anything else but that one thing you're fasting from?
That's really interesting. So yes, I mean, while you're on fasting, sometimes the first time I did it, it was like craving the thing that I don't really eat, and I'm like, oh my god, everything is so delicious in your mind, and you just want to eat them right away, but you're like, no, I'm on the fasting. I like that process. Like I like when you're doing meditation, your mind like wandering around, and you tell yourself like, come back, like stop thinking about that, because like okay, this is fact check me, but I don't know, but they said 30% of our thoughts every day are thinking about food. What's the next meals and stuff. But like, the data shows like 240 hours of a year people actually spend on thinking about what's next meal and food and stuff. But I think it's definitely more than that. Well, this is one of the data I got from the nutritionist or a scientist saying that 30% of your thoughts are on food. Then if you think about when you're on fasting, yes, you're thinking about food, but you have all the time that you're not normally eating food to kind of like think about something else, do something else, and that's why a lot of religious purpose to do like find the clarity, connect to the higher power, higher self and stuff, you get to find that clarity while you're on fasting. And a lot of like ceremonies that you do fasting before you go into the ceremonies, and you have this clear mind because like your brain spends so much energy on like digesting the food that you have every day, and when you're empty stomach and then being able to connect to your inner self, you're like able to find more clarity in things.
Interesting. Well, I can tell you that I do dopamine fasting every now and then, but I don't really. I guess you could say there's a spiritual aspect to it, but I do it more so to clear my mind in a way. So it's almost like a premeditative exercise of sorts. And so I guess it is really all spiritual, I guess. No, but I do it because I feel like if I'm, funny enough, consuming too much toxic content in my life, whether it be food or digital stuff, I think I need that hard reset, and that acts as that hard reset for me. Always works too.
Yeah, Alex, have you had like eaten any food and feel like really sleepy afterwards, having that food coma? And
Isn't that
Food
just
baby.
when you eat a lot?
yeah, it depends on the food are you eating. Normally, it's like if you eat a big steak or something harder to digest, requires more energy for your stomach to actually digest. You start getting dizzy and
Yeah, but if I ate like 10 salads back to back, I'm pretty sure I'd still feel pretty sleepy anyway. So,
I heard this, I don't know who I heard it from. Maybe it was from Owen, but apparently when you eat a lot of food, the blood goes to your stomach
to
more
digest
than your
it.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And because of the lack of oxygen in your blood going to your brain, you get sleepy. Especially, so I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the reason we yawn is because we have a lack of oxygen in our brains. And that freaked me out when I was younger because I was like, why do I yawn every 10 minutes? And then I realized it's because I would literally just sit and not breathe at all. I would literally be sitting somewhere. And even sometimes in practice as well, when I would just be dead tired, it wasn't like I was asleep because I was fully awake, fully wired, and just, I don't know, putting a lot of effort in, but I would start yawning, and my coach would make me run because he'd be like, why didn't you care? And I was like, what do you mean, man? I'm here.
you're like, I care.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But so why did you want to know about us and our fasting stuff?
I don't know. I just feel like I am also learning at the same time. I'm not an expert, be like telling you this is what you should do. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I just think that I personally benefits from that, and because I do think that like having a little bit of self control, especially in like this pandemic time where like a lot of things are out of controls, and we're like over consumptions, like at least there's like over consuming a lot of stuff, and we're just on our phones, social medias every day. Just informations get fed to us. We don't even choose what we're gonna do sometimes, and having a little self-control is in just the most basic stuff where everyone love eating food. Not everyone, but most people does. So having a little self-control in that, I feel like is really cool. And I will just kind of hear what you think, because you were on a vegetarian diet for like a slightly, like a short few weeks, and I was like wondering what's going on, and like why you gave up. And I'm
Well, first of all, preach, sister. I mean, people really had self-control problems over the quarantine and stuff, and I think that people are still finding that. So it's important to try to at least find a little bit of that. But why did I stop vegetarian diet? Well, I realized that as a college athlete, it's probably not the best thing for my performance. And I noticed actually one really interesting thing. I think I've mentioned it before to Alex on a previous episode,
You have.
but I'll explain to you. So what I would do is I would just eat only plant-based things, and every now and then some dairy as well, and no meat. And I every morning would wake up feeling great. Yeah, I would wake up at 5 a.m. after sleeping 4 hours type of deal and feel great, which was crazy because I'm the type of person that if I don't get at least 6 hours, I feel like shit. I literally can't move, and it's just horrifying for 30 minutes that I'm trying to figure out how to orient myself in this plane of existence. But I would have so much energy, right? But then I'd get on court, and I would feel super, super wired once again and super energetic, super hyper almost. And then after about 25 minutes, dead. Like I had no endurance at all. I couldn't sustain any of that energy. So what I noticed was while I was eating, I guess, a regular athlete's diet, which had a lot more protein and meat in it, like chicken, beef, pork, all that stuff, I noticed that while I may not have had the initial spark of energy, the initial thing to get me going, my energy was sustained for way, way, way longer. So, I just realized that because most tennis matches, especially in college, they're not going to last 30 minutes. They're 2 to 3 hours. I needed to make sure that my energy was tip top, especially in practice, because in practice, when you don't feel good, you have no way of really like giving and putting out as much effort as you should be. And so it was really counter beneficial to me. And then also I noticed that I was gaining weight almost, but not good weight. I noticed that I just gained a little bit of fat on my bones in a way. That's the only way I could describe it, because I knew I was about the same weight, but didn't look as lean, you could say. And so I thought to myself, okay, why is this happening? Oh, it's because I'm literally not eating any protein or very little protein compared to my previous standards. And so, so I stopped that. And it was basically the whole spring semester last year. When I got back home, funny enough, I was I was half making the conscious decision to get off it, and half my dad gave me a plate of beef and rice and he said, "You're eating this and you have no choice." Because we don't have any vegetarian food here for you. So I was like, you know what, man? I'm all for it. We're back. We're gonna go back to this. So that's it. And I gotta say, vegetarian diet is definitely doable, and I actually enjoyed a lot of the food. I even have a no meat athlete cookbook right in front of me, Alex and Jesse. You can see it. So I gotta say, if I'm not training for anything really, I could probably do it. It's also cheaper. You don't have to buy as many meats, and meat's expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that you bring up the whole vegetarian thing, because I was just about to bring that up too. I was thinking about your story about from like many episodes ago, how you told me with vegetarian diet you had a lot of energy but for short bursts, whereas with meat you can actually sustain a high intense level for long periods of time. And it made me think, it's like if you did both, that would be, you'd have the best of both worlds. You'd have high intense energy from beginning to end for long periods of time, which, in high school and middle school and elementary school, they teach you about like that food pyramid or food diagram or food circle.
It's all fake.
No, it's like, Pete, you're literally living proof that like when you eat all vegetables, you have hyper energy, but for short bursts. And when you eat meat, you have long bursts. You're able to sustain a long period of intense work. So if you did both, and with the right percentages, you could do both. It makes logical sense, doesn't it, Pete?
No, I'm saying, yes, it does make sense. I'm saying the food pyramid is fake.
It's half fake. I mean, I'm sure the numbers are rough estimates. Everyone has a different body, so...
I don't know. I don't know if it's really a conspiracy. I heard someone tell me that the food pyramid was made by butcher companies or just meat companies to kind of sell meat on you. The whole factory.
Yeah, but why did they make carbs the number one thing?
I guess because the only thing you can really eat with carbs is meat anyway. Because if you eat carbs plain, it's just horrible. Like, you're going to eat plain pasta? Plain rice?
That's what sauce is for, and that's dairy.
I don't know. I don't think anyone would really do that. I definitely wouldn't do that. Would you do that, Jesse?
I don't know.
You've never had Alfredo pasta, Pete?
Yeah, with chicken in it, man.
I mean, you could. You don't need the chicken on it.
Like I said, balanced. I think balanced diet.
Yeah, let's bring it back to Jesse's Earth right now.